Hey, congratulations. 11 years for Easterseals Disability Film Challenge.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for having me on.
Hey, not a problem, not a problem. I mean, I covered this at the Sony Pictures lot last year, and the attendance to your event is amazing. And I mean, it's more than a decade, in fact. So it's awesome to talk to you about this project of yours.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for coming to our award ceremony. That was definitely, I would say, one of the highlights of my life, that night. And just to have so many people that have been a part of the last decade and really kind of furthering disability inclusion. And, it was really a special night. And, it means a lot that you were there too to cover and spotlight our community and all the talent within the disability community.
Most awesome. So tell us about the this year's challenge that you guys want to highlight. I understand you guys already picked out a theme that was just revealed earlier this year.
Yes. Yes, yes. So we just announced that the 11th annual Easterseals Disability Film Challenge is open for registration. The challenge is happening April 2nd to April 7th. You need to register by April 1st. And live from the Sundance Film Festival, we announced that the genre for this year's challenge is buddy comedy. So we're very excited to see these fun films and to see what's going to happen within the buddy comedy genre, which really is going to have a great tool set for disabled creators and actors and writers and directors to be able to tell authentic stories and to let the comedy come from their own point of view and to really see some diversity within the buddy comedy genre. So I'm very excited about that. The way the challenge works too is you need to register between now and April 1st. And then it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And we have people registering from South America, Central America. We've had films from Europe, Egypt, India, all over the place, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, you will be emailed the full assignment on Tuesday, April 2nd. And that includes themes, props that have to be included, locations to choose from, so that we know that these films are done over the course of 5 days. And then on Sunday, April 7th, all the films are due. And that's, to me, I feel like the most magical moment of the year where I look at all these incredible films, just hours and hours of films that are made with passion and heart. And this year, I believe comedy is going to be within all these films.
I was gonna say, I think you, if I recall, you come from a comedy background yourself.
That's right. That's right. So I've been a comedian going back now. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 22 years. So I've toured all over the world. I've done tours for the troops, in the Middle East, in Africa, in Europe. I've performed pretty much in every state in the United States, most places in Canada. So I've been very lucky in my own career. Currently, I tour with Nate Bargatze on his arena tour, the Be Funny tour, and I also do local comedy clubs. And I definitely make comedy part of a lot of our live events because I believe in comedy, and comedy is a tool that also helps educate people. It's
Mhm.
it's able to be used to educate about what it's like to be a little person like I am, 3'10", but also what it's like to be a wheelchair user, somebody who's blind or deaf or has cerebral palsy or an invisible disability or developmental disability or all these different things, whether you're on the autism spectrum or if you have Down syndrome. It just is incredible that all these talented actors, writers, and directors and budding producers are able to tell their stories through the challenge. And I think what's so cool about it is that it also gets rid of the stigma of disability and that, oh, I don't, I need to, act differently around Nic because he's a little person or this person because they're in a wheelchair. They're just able to show what they can do through these films. Because I think at the end of the day, I'm just feeling very optimistic that the industry is ready for us. They're requesting us. Not only are these films being made a week after the actual challenge, we have what we call the awareness competition, where all the films go on our YouTube page, our Instagram, and our Facebook page, and participants complete in an awareness campaign where they try to get as many likes, views, and shares for the films. So ultimately, that also creates opportunities for them, but it changes the way that people view disability because they're getting to see these authentic stories.
Well said. Well said. But before we proceed on, remind us what the organization's mission is when you created this 11 years ago.
Yeah, so really for me, my background, as I said, is I'm an actor and I'm a comedian. And I've been very lucky in that I've gotten all these jobs. I've gotten the chance to work with Martin Scorsese and the Farley brothers and be on The Good Doctor and Louder Milk and most recently Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, where I play Lego Spider-Man. But the majority of that was actually self-driven with me writing and producing and creating my own content. So 11 years ago, I created the Disability Film Challenge to help other people with disabilities tell their stories and create an opportunity for them to be discovered. And it grew year after year. And in 2017, I partnered with Easterseals Southern California, and it's exploded. I mean, we've had over 600 films created from around the world. So I would say if you were to ask me what the mission of the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge, it is to give people with disabilities opportunities in front of and behind the camera, but ultimately through those films to change the way the world sees disability through the talent and the beautiful films that are sometimes funny, sometimes they're sci-fi, sometimes they're gonna reach your heartstrings. It's really up to the filmmakers to tell their story. And something else that I love is every year we have a different assignment. So last year was romance. Um, we did superhero the year before. We did mockumentary. We did documentary. We did sci-fi. We've done all these different things. And so we give the one assignment, but everybody has their own interpretation of what that assignment means to them and how they can also incorporate their their disability and what they have to bring to the world. Like romance, we had some films that were so funny, and others where I'm watching and I'm like tearing up. I'm like, I'm not crying, you're crying, man.
So, for this film challenge, do you find a lot of people already in the industry, or are we talking about like up and comers or amateurs that participate in this challenge?
Yeah, so what I love about the challenge is there's so much diversity that takes place within the challenge. And, when we say the word disability, the interesting thing about the disability community is it also intersects amongst all other minority populations. You could, be somebody who is a person of color, part of the LGBTQ plus community, a different religion, a different, like we intersect amongst everything. So I'm very proud of the diversity that takes place within the films and all the support we get from other allies that work with us that have a shared mission. But in terms of the skill level and kind of where people are at, what I also love about the challenge is it's open for anybody. It's open for, we've had Oscar winners that have taken part in the challenge. Literally, Marcia Gay Harden, who won the Oscar for Best Actor for Mystic River, acted in a film for the challenge. And we've had directors that have directed $150 million movies, make films, and big cinema packages for, TV directors and all these working actors, because we have a SAG-AFTRA agreement, which allows professional talent to work for deferred pay. So it allows us to be able to use the best actors in the world, the best talent through SAG-AFTRA. Now, with that being said, the challenge is also open for first-time writers, directors, producers, and we have families that take part in the challenge. That it's the only thing they do every year, and they look forward to it, and they plan their films out, and they may not have all the fanciest camera equipment, but we've also had films that have gone on to become finalists and winners that were done from a do-it-yourself, even on a phone, because they just ended up telling a great story. Because at the end of the day, really, it's about telling your story, and it's about putting yourself out there and sharing who you are in the world and about your disability. And that's what I love too. I love with last year we had 115 films that were created from around the world. So when we watch all the films, even though I'm not a judge, so if you're listening to anybody, please don't get mad at me if you didn't win or you weren't a nominee. We have other judges and they work very hard, but I'm not a judge. I still watch every film because I'm so proud of everybody. But what I love is you'll see one film and they have all the fanciest equipment on the planet, helicopter shots or drone shots, and they're way up high. And then, I'll watch that film and it's great. And then I watch another film and it's a family and they're doing everything and just around a table. And it's so creative, and they found a way to tell that story, and some even remote filmmaking where they're literally doing things through, whether it's Microsoft Teams or Zoom or however, or sending footage back and forth, and they're creating a film, and it's just as amazing and compelling, and it's able to showcase themselves to the casting directors and producers and writers and our amazing sponsors that support us, including all the studios, the networks. We're sponsored by so many amazing entertainment companies and Fortune 500 companies, and they're also discovering talent through the challenge.
So in the end, how many people will be how many films will be showcased? I want to say you had already set a date in May, I believe.
Yes, so our award ceremony this year is going to be May 9th at Sony Pictures, and we're very excited about that. Now, a couple things on that note. First of all, we live stream our award ceremony. So due to capacity, we're limited with how many people can attend in person. But we want everybody that's a part of the challenge to feel like they're there, whether they're in the city of Los Angeles or other parts of the country or other parts of the world. So we encourage everybody to save that date of Thursday, May 9th, and we'll be live streaming that. So in terms of our categories, we have 6 categories. We have our best film, our best director, our best writer, our best actor, our best editor, and our best awareness campaign. So there could be 6 films that could end up winning. So we end up sharing finalists, 4 finalists in each category. So depending on, similar to like the Oscars, where Barbie is nominated so many times, and everyone's like, wait a minute, Barbie wasn't nominated enough, or it was nominated too much. It's the same thing with the challenge. So we don't know exactly how many films will be encompassed yet until the judging is done for who those finalists are, who those winners are. But that's for our award ceremony. And then we also have a finalist announcement where we screen the finalists, which we have on May 5th, and we're working those details out. But here's the most exciting thing. If you're tuning in right now and you're a film challenge participant, or you're interested in signing up, guess what? You own your own film. So whether you're named as a finalist or whether you're named as a winner, you're going to end up being able to submit your film to any film festival you want. And we encourage you to do that. That's the goal of the challenge, to get more jobs and opportunities and exposure for our participants. We've had some films that weren't named as finalists or winners, and they've gone on to screen at over 100 film festivals around the world, win awards, receive grants. People have been hired for multi-year TV contracts on films that weren't named as finalists. So I always encourage people, don't let that discourage you, because to be honest, in my 22 years of being a comedian, I've never won anything. I just keep doing it, until people tell me to stop, to get the hook, get off stage.
Now you could correct me if I'm wrong. There's a certain prize for the winners. Am I correct?
That's right. So we give out amazing prize packages. If you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com and you hit the challenge tab, it'll walk you to prizes. You could also learn about past challenges. You could learn about our mentors. our judges. You can see past films. But this year we have some unbelievable prizes, including $2,000 grants given to individual category winners. The winning films of best film, best director, best writer, actor, editor will receive $15,000 production and seed funding grants provided by the Adobe Foundation, as well as computers from Dell Technologies. We have IMDb Pro that we are giving out subscriptions to, Adobe Creative Cloud, and big time mentor meetings with studio executives, and screenings at Academy Award qualifying festivals. So there's a lot of opportunities that come if you end up winning, and a lot of reasons to sign up. And again, this is all volunteer. So the reason why we're able to work with SAG-AFTRA and get talent without paying any upfront fees is nobody gets paid. So this is a great opportunity for you to grab your network, grab people within your community, your family, your friends, and make a film together. Each film has to have one person with a disability, and that's it. You make everything else together, and it's all about collaboration, working together, and making films. And at the end of the day, you have a film, and you're including disabled actors, writers, directors, and producers into the community. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans identifies as having a disability. But yet we are the most underrepresented minority population in the world in film and TV. And so the Film Challenge is an opportunity for all of us to be included more, and at the end of the day, to make a cool film that we can be proud of and get showcased. And the industry is watching. And so I'm very excited that, it's led for opportunities, not only for people with disabilities, but also people without disabilities. We've had projects where they're starting with this and they get hired to do another project together, in development on another project. So I'm very excited and proud about that.
Yes, that is terrific. Now, is there an entry fee to participate in this competition?
Yes. So we do have an entry fee. It's $45 for the entire film. If you register before the middle of March, and then that's late registration, and it goes to $60. Now, we also have student discount codes, so a 50% discount if you send us an email and, provide that kind of student, whether it's an email address or explain where you are, and we're happy to provide that. But ultimately, we subsidize this. So that's for the entire production, is only paying that one fee. And you're able to come to all of our events. Everything we do, our workshops that we're doing, year-round workshops. We did a 2-day camera workshop at Sony last week in directing. We're doing editing workshops. We're doing marketing workshops. Everything we do is free. So once you join the challenge, you're part of our alumni, and you're able to get all of these other events and invited into things. And sometimes things sell out right away, so you may be like, well, I wanted to get to that. Well, you gotta follow us on social media to know when we have these exciting announcements, so that you know when to RSVP. But our website walks through everything. So for anybody interested in registering, if you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com, you'll hit the challenge tab. It'll walk you through all those steps of how you register through both our website on the contact form, and then through Film Freeway, which is where you will pay your submission fee and sign your forms to say you give us permission to, follow all the procedures that we do, and that you will be the entrant representative, and that you agree to the terms of getting all these exciting prizes and opportunities for screenings. And then also that you're liable for your own film. Because I think what else is important about what we're doing is we're teaching people how to produce, how to not talk about the problem, but to be part of the solution by actually making a film and being the producer. And if you're not the main producer, you're working with somebody else that's better with the paperwork, that may be able to help with the registration process. But we're available if people have questions. And this is very much, we believe in, there's no barriers, so ultimately we have a lot of the questions you may have or you may be thinking. in the FAQ section of our website. And we really have, laid out step by step of how to register, what the calendar looks like in terms of dates, when you'll be receiving the second side of the assignment, when the awareness campaign starts, when you'll find out if you're a finalist. And again, if you're not, please, I'm not a judge, so don't attack me.
Well said, Nick. So let's go ahead and remind us what is that web address, and open registration starts now, I believe, and the competition is in April. If
Yes. So if you go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com, you can learn about our April 2nd to April 7th film challenge dates, where you will have 5 days to make a film that has somebody with a disability in front of or behind the camera. This year's genre is buddy comedy, but we are not going to give the full assignment until you register. You need to register, that's step 1, before April 1st at disabilityfilmchallenge.com, and we can't wait to see your amazing films and to watch you tell your story.
well said, Nick. It's always been a pleasure speaking to you. I can't wait to see these films myself in May and
Oh,
talk to these competitors and winners, and talk to you again.
yes, and
That's
I hope
awesome.
you mark down May 9th and that you're there for the night again.
I already put it down on my calendar, so I
uh,
will be there. So
thank thank you so
thank
much.
thank you. Really appreciate it, and I will see you later early summer.
All right, see you soon. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks so much. Great to see you.